This is where we hold them. This is where we fight. This is where they die. And these shields, boys. Remember this day, man. For it will be yours for all time. Insanity.
Welcome back to the Manosphere Paradigm, the channel where we learn to level up in health, wealth, relationships, and hobbies. Guys, you are definitely hitting that subscribe button. We have come to 388. Let's get me to 400 subscribers so that I can move on to the next stage. That is 500. And guys, 1,000 is the goal. We need to get there so that I can at least get this channel monetized. And I want to thank you for your support in dropping a like and dropping a comment on the video and giving me some input. I definitely appreciate it. Today I want to talk about one of the things that I've been seeing that has been very prevalent. You know, one of the big things that I basically want to commend the Manosphere on, and at least I don't see a lot of it, and it's a good thing. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact that when it comes to the way we conduct ourselves, obviously in the Manosphere, and those that basically connect to this kind of ecosystem of men that is basically sharing information, sharing knowledge, we do not go to the other side to basically trash on them, to shit on them, and to go and say, you know, you guys are idiots, you don't know what you're talking about. We basically, like the guys on Fresh and Fit, shout out to them, they always say, while they hate, we create. We'll always be bashed, we'll always be attacked, we'll always be basically I would say not misrepresented, but misinterpreted. And you will have people that basically will based on what their emotional response is towards the Manosphere and the content that we bring to men, and to help them and to give them the tools so that they can equip themselves and move in a way that basically benefits them and obviously mitigate the risk in them being exposed and obviously being taken advantage of. A lot of guys in today's day and age do not like that, because you know it's just something that helps men to obviously navigate things better, and like I said, to be able to see things and to go into certain situations, whether it's long-term relationship, whether it's marriages, with open eyes. So today in this video, I want to talk about the mounting attacks that's been happening on the Manosphere, and I want to focus on one of the latest ones from a YouTuber from the UK. I think her name is called Mooncat, and she has basically come out with a very in-depth video that basically goes tries to dispel the myths, she would call it, within the Manosphere. She basically goes creates the as many straw man analogies. She goes as far as to appealing to your emotion and wanting to make sure that you are subscribed to what the feminine imperative is, and not to listen to these misogynists, because they don't know what they're talking about. They are heartless, they are cold. That is all the words that is being used within this video. And one of the things that I like when watching it, was entertaining. Definitely it was entertaining. You can check her out. There she is. Her name is Mooncat, and she basically calls a video, I debunked the entire Manosphere. She did it in 1 hour and 52 minutes. It took her to debunk the entire Manosphere. Guys, this is amazing. This is next level. But yeah, when it comes to the attacks that I've been seeing, when it comes to the Manosphere and the content that's being created, for me, it smells a whole lot like panic. For me, I see people saying what they're saying. They always end up not arguing the facts. And when it comes to the facts itself, they go as far as by completely dismissing the facts and calling into question the validity of those stats, of where it comes from. And you guys can check out this video. You can go watch the video. I mean, she boosted it and paid for a paid promotion, so that YouTube, and she paid for advertisement, or at least for ad time, so that YouTube can push that video in front of a lot of people, so that she can make money off this video, off the Manosphere. So yeah, a lot of things. She calls the guys within the Manosphere, calls them grifters, calls them guys that is basically setting up incel men and basically feeding off the insecurities to make money off them. That is what she's saying. However, for me, when I'm looking at things, I'm basically just seeing a whole lot of ad hominem attacks and basically representing the talking points within the Manosphere. For me, I'm going to say, you know what? I've seen a lot of male channels also sprung up, completely coming up with, I've seen one of them, Red RP Exposed, and doing the exposed type of approach as to them basically debunking everything and saying everything is BS. You know what? Whatever floats your boat. I'm just going to tell you, as a Red Pill aware man, and being Red Pill aware, and also myself personally being a blue pill man, just because I am blue, I constantly say blue pill. It's purple pill man, where I am a man that is married, and I've made the decision years back. And while being married, I came across the Manosphere and a lot of things after spending time listening to what is being said, and doing so, going through quite a few different type of platforms. For me, it made sense, and I can see a lot of dots in my own life where a lot of dots was connected, and I can basically see certain situation and certain people for what they truly meant, and the certain things that they really didn't, what were maybe naive and ignorant of knowing and being and doing certain things to me or for me, whatever. But I could see it for what it was, and that for me was a good type of um, for me, it was a good kind of like experience to go through it. You get to a point where you understand, you get to this red pill rage, because you have now been exposed and seen things for what it is, and it tends to make you angry as to how you could see people for what they truly did and why they reacted or treated you a certain way. You know what? You have to work through that and deal with that emotion, and then you have to tell yourself, okay, so based on what I know now, what is the best, how I'm going to use this information and the tools that I'm getting from the Manosphere to basically get the results that I want out of life. Not complaining, not making excuses, but going for those things that I want. And stop competing in that victim of Olympics that a lot of people want you to subscribe to, and throw your hands up and say, you know what, that is, we can't do anything because the systemic blah blah blah, the institutionalized blah blah blah. And like I said, participating in that victim Olympics, I do not subscribe to it anymore, and I've seen the light. And since doing so, it's become a bit more tougher. But you know what? Because you know where you're going and what you're trying to achieve, and not blaming others for whatever shortcomings you have, you identify them, and then you basically get better at them and put in the work to be able to have the receipts and get the results that you're wanting. But yes, for me, that was just something I wanted to encapsulate in trying to explain that whole spiel, because that is what I'm seeing. There's a lot of people that has made certain decisions, and when it comes to Mooncat, she has made a decision to get married to a guy. If you go check out in one of the videos, or at least our godfather Rolo Tomasi, he goes in and he debunked the roasty girls. He goes in and gives a in-depth, how long was that? More than 4 hours. So Rolo took his time, and unfortunately for Mooncat, he completely dismantled her, completely tore her limb by limb, and made sure that the carcass was laid bare in front of all, to show the hypocrisy, to show the strawman attacks, to show the ad hominem attacks, and to show that she has no clue what the hell she's talking about. So for me, I can, like I say, I wanted to just, I'm just seeing this phenomena of a lot of people attacking the Manosphere, attacking certain content creators, especially Fresh and Fit, because women do not like that coffee. Shout out to Chisha Red. There's also another YouTube content creator. He always uses that phrase on his channels. When people don't like something, he always says that you don't like that coffee. So one of the things I wanted to say was that I'm seeing this phenomena. I'm seeing that it's just not women that's doing it. It is male content creators also creating and carving a niche for them to shit on the manosphere. But one thing we don't do is to go over to their channels and basically go in there and pile on them. Sometimes if you see something, I see something coming up on my feed, I go check out the video and I have a comment and I'll go into the comments and give my 2 cents and tell them what I think about what they are saying. But it goes as far as that, but not to shit on them, but to say, you know what, this is how I see what you're saying and I don't agree and this is why. There's nothing wrong with it. Me, I'm a small content creator. I'm trying to come up. I'm not starting fights just for the sake of trying to start fights with someone. But I'm going into certain people's comments and I'm having conversations as to what they're talking about and just basically broadening out on the conversation that they're having. One of the things, and I'm asking myself, what's the reasons that is happening? Why are these people attacking the manosphere? And one of the reasons I can safely say is the fact that the truth is coming out. We live in this feminine imperative as to where everything, if you operate within a very masculine frame, then you are considered being and labeled with misogyny. If you basically know your preferences, if you're a guy that say, you know what, I don't like overweight women, or you say, you know, I want this, I like this. If a woman tells you, I don't like short guys, I don't like guys that's broke, then a guy just accepts it. But if a guy has standards, and he names those standards, and some women do not fulfill those standards, then they are immediately triggered and will shame him and call him all sorts of names because he's confident in saying what he wants. Why? Because he has options. So when it comes to the reasons, I believe that the truth, number one, is coming out, where men are understanding their worth, and that in itself is a threat to a lot of, we call them in the manosphere 304s. You can go check out what an HOE is. But at the end of the day, a lot of women enjoy their 20s. They do what they want. They live their life. They live this hot girl summer, sexually liberated. And then they stack bodies to the roof. And then they, at the end of it all, expect a high value guy, someone that has put in the work, that has worked his ass off to become the type of man that is valued by the marketplace, and also for himself in the things that he's going for and the types of levels of success he wants to reach. That obviously is attractive to women. He understands and learned about game, his dress sense, his basically his fitness, and his grooming that goes along with it, and make sure that his career and his purpose is pushing on those things. That guy is number one, the complete package. Now, whether it's a short guy, whether it's a tall guy, at the end of the day, if you own it, you are going to be a rare commodity in today's day and age, because a lot of guys are not having sex and they are not in the marketplace where they are putting in the work to be able to have the level of options that a few guys are having. So that reality of how the world is operating has always been kind of like, you know what, no one talks about it, but everyone talks about this dreamy Disney fairy tale and expecting that's going to be the life that everyone's having. But if you look at the divorce rates worldwide, in my country, South Africa, if you look at the stats, you are not seeing the type of wins that you would think this romanticized type of environment would create. But the stats is saying a complete different and giving a complete different story. So the reasons is that the truth is coming out. The war is something that is being talked about in the past. I myself personally, when I did talk about it with certain friends, I was argued down. I was told I'm stupid, and what I'm saying is offensive. But I'm talking to men. But at the end of the day, this is not something you should talk about. Who are you to talk about it? And I'm like, no, I'm just having a conversation. You guys are talking about relationships. Some of the guys are married. Some of the guys are single. Some of the guys are in long-term relationships. So there is all this different dynamics, and we're talking about how we all obviously, what our viewpoint of it on it is. But when it comes to me coming with that red pill praxeology, where red pill is the study of human action, And just seeing the way people operate and calling it for what it is, no romanticized type of version that's being watered down that you are trying to bring across. It's all about what's currently happening, and not, it's basically giving you the shot or the drink without the chaser, and giving you the hot stuff and downing it, and you basically have to deal with it. It is what it is. So the wall, it's something that's being talked about when it comes to women being promiscuous, and how certain guys are not attracted to that or not turned on by that, because guy, as you as a man, we want to make sure that if you are going to be with a woman and you're going to make her pregnant, you know for sure that that child is yours, because you're going to be obviously going to be, your responsibility is having to provide for that child for the next 18 years. So that is a fear that men have. So if a woman is all over the place doing a thing and then expecting a man of value to come in and to give her this life that she always wanted after she has lived the life for the streets, you know what? That's going to be a mismatch, because those guys are not looking for a woman that was being out doing their thing. But not to hop on the subject, I'm talking about the reasons, and the reasons I'm talking about is the truth is coming out. The whole is being exposed. The CC number one, where we call it the cock-a-doodle-doo carousel, it is being exposed. Women are being exposed for monkey branching. Like I said, I mentioned the divorce rate, how women can just walk away from relationships and a man invest years, time, his money, and a woman can just tell him, you know what, this is not working for me, I'm not happy, and she's out by the door. All these truths are being exposed, and with the prevalence and the rise of the manosphere within a space like YouTube, they've been around for years, but the popularity of it has grown. A lot of other channels in the type of Disney fairy tale they are selling are becoming threatened, because a lot of guys are waking up and understanding, you know what, I do not have to lay my life on the line to be able to enjoy a certain lifestyle, have certain access to women. You can be picky, you can be choosy if you're putting in the work and being the man, obviously, that is pre-selected by a woman, because you have created yourself as and created the value in your life when it comes to the way you dress, when it your grooming, when it comes to your fitness, your muscles, when it comes to your money and your purpose, and when it comes to you obviously having game and knowing intersexual dynamics and how to talk to women, how to basically arouse them when it comes to certain things that you do, and how to escalate when it comes to dealing with her, being in face to face, going on a date, meeting for drinks, basically having that interaction. And if you basically want to take it further and she's game, you obviously have the know-how and the game to be able to do that. You know what? A guy like that is unstoppable, and a lot of women, they are upset that guys are knowing this truth, because why? They want the guys that is clueless, because they want to do their thing during through their 20s, and once they hit 30 and realize, oh snap, I'm going to find it difficult, because there's a new line of 20-year-olds that's starting every year with their 10 years of getting from 20 to 30, and they're going to be enjoying themselves and coming onto the marketplace, sexual marketplace, and guys are going to have other options when they are around, and I'm not going to be looked at. Why? Because I'm now 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, whatever. We all know this, and this upsets them, because a woman wants their sexual marketplace value to be constantly evergreen, as to saying, oh, 30 is the new 20, oh, 40 is the new 25, 50 is the new 30. 40 is 40, 50 is 50, 50 is what it is. There's a difference between a guy that's 40 and a woman that's 40. If a guy is on his purpose, he has his money right, he knows game, his dress sense is good, and his fitness is on point, he is unstoppable. A woman, she cannot get the same type of results that she could have gotten at 40 if she compared to when she was 30, or even compared to when she was 20. They know it for a fact, and that is one of the things that upsets them. I would say the next question is, what's the intent of them and the ladies like Mooncat coming on, creating and putting in the time and effort, and also putting her own money on the line to promote her video on YouTube so that she can get the amount of views that, so that the algorithm can pick it up. What makes them do this? Well, when it comes to, in my opinion, the way they go about it and the reason for it is the fact that the intent, I believe, is to sow doubt and to create enough confusion because of the manosphere is basically getting men to understand their worth and getting men to and giving them certain tools to be able to get the results that they normally thought was out of their reach because you know what, they just had to settle, or I can't go further because of subscribing to that victim mentality. But more and more men are getting unplugged, and that is a problem. That is a problem to a lot of women and a lot of men as well, because some men, the simps that's out there are thinking, you know what, I can just stick around, I can hover, I can be an orbiter, and once she hits though 20, when she hits what is it, 30, 35 or 40, you know what, if she had a fun or she's done with the previous guy, I'm gonna sweep in and I'll get her, that sneaky, so we call it sneaky fucker game. You know what, it's men that's always wanting to sow a lot of these channels, like I mentioned earlier, sowing the confusion, showing the doubt, and basically creating this confusion, basically, so that they can also muddy the waters to an extent to basically slow down the progress that the manosphere is making. But we are growing, we are getting there, and we are holding the line. This is where we hold them. They're not going further than this. Why? There's been so many strides in the manosphere as to a lot of guys that have thought that there's no hope for them. Some guys, they land up wanting to put a noose around their neck. Some guys wanting to put a pew-pew in their mouth and pull the trigger and end themselves. But you know what? Since they have gotten this knowledge, seen what's out there, understand that they are not the only ones and other men are also going through it, and giving them practical tools to overcome certain fears that they have, certain knowledge gap that they may have, and giving them the knowledge to be able to be better and get better results for the outcomes that they are wanting. There's hope that's being created by the manosphere, and I'm all for that, because for me, to get past that red ball rage was crucial for me to then look further and say, okay, this is where I've arrived, this is what I need to course correct, and this is basically what I need to put in, the work I need to put in to get to where I want to and get to the next level of whatever success type of success, I would say goal orientated, purpose orientated success markers that I could want for my life. I can see it and I can go for it, and I can use some of the tools to get me the results that I'm wanting. I'm going to constantly harp on it, because at the end of the day, I like what Rolo Tomasi says. He doesn't tell you, do this, do these 5 steps to be able to get to the next level, and you can do this to get to this and this and this. No, these are the tools. I just work here, and it's up to you to use them to your benefit to get the type of results that you want out of in your life. Simple as that. And I like that, because a lot of times people want to say, okay, I'll follow this. Oh, it didn't work, so it's your fault, and not take responsibility. So I like what Rolo is doing. So Rolo's, he masterfully debunks our Mooncat's, what was it, 1 hour and 52 minute debunking session she has put in that video, and she has come out guns blazing and called us Jordan Peterson, Rolo Tomasi, Fresh, and the entire manosphere. She's gone next level to be able to shame us into silence, basically. It's not going to work. And Rolo does a good job. Of 4 hours, I've sat and watched the video, and I was like impressed at how calmly he's done it, and also how in depth and in detail he has gone when it comes to the data and statistics, and the graphs that he shows you to show you the correlations of certain things as things has happened with the arrival of social media, the internet, and how that has changed the marketplace. I can go on and on and on. Go check out Roller's video. It's 4 hours long. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the way he puts it together in relation to all the literature that he's put out there when it comes to the rational male, when it comes to positive masculinity, when it comes to the religion, all the books that is in the latest one that he's come out with, what is it, the Player's Handbook or something like that. Go check it out and get those books. Equip yourself, guys. Do not be shamed into silence where you feel that, you know what, I want to be in, and I don't want to stand out and be nailed like the nail that stands out. Be that nail. Stand out and take the blows. Put up your block. In karate, back in the day, if you block, a strong block is to put up that block, whether it is shaming language that's being used, insults that's being used, guilt trips that's being thrown your way. Like Kevin Samuel says, sign language, you need to identify it, and when it comes your way, in a calm manner and stoically, you give the energy that you are getting, you give it back. Sometimes they will try to draw you into certain levels of emotion and get you riled up and throw jabs at you to get you unsettled or off your square. But as a man, you need to remain calm, and you need to practice on becoming more and more stoic, so that your face of happiness, your face of sadness is one and the same face. Shout out to Andrew Tate. That is a very good way of putting it, because there's no way they'll be able to see if they're getting a rise out of you. It's extremely difficult. I've tried it in some type of discussions that I've had over the last couple of weeks. I've been in situations where I have had back and forth conversations, and my wife has been telling me, you know what, I can see the way you're talking and the way you're going about it. You are getting more and more calmer in the way you are waiting for the other person and then giving them back the facts, and then giving your rebuttal in a manner that is calm and collected, where there's nothing for them to grasp onto. You know what? That only came from me watching content on how to become more stoic, knowing and understanding as a man, being emotional is very dangerous. And when you are emotional, you are off your square and not centered. And someone can basically, if you are being controlled by emotion, it's easy for someone else to trigger you and control you and pull you by the nose around, because why? You're being controlled by emotion. But if you are stoic, if you are measured, and you can control and exercise that level of self-control, it's going to better and help you so much in being able to have conversations with people, have it respectfully, even if they are being rude to you, but have it in a manner that they feel ashamed in the way they're going about talking to you, and also realize, you know what, I'm actually going about this conversation in an emotional manner, and he's actually being calm and being respectful towards me, and maybe they'll adjust themselves in coming down to your frame, because you're the one always setting the frame, always maintaining your frame, and always making sure that you are the one that is the leader when it comes to whenever situation, and you are not the one that's being pulled around and being led around by your nose, by your emotion. For me, I am seeing these attacks. I'm rooting for you guys in the Manosphere, and I'm telling you and I'm saying to you, keep on soldiering on. This is where we hold them, and we're going to keep on helping men. We're going to keep on giving them this knowledge. I'm growing, and as I'm growing, I'm pouring out all my lessons that I'm getting, and also my journey. I'm sharing that with you guys so that you guys can see, you know what, I'm just not talking through my neck. I'm also out here doing it and getting involved in doing certain things, you know, to basically put content out there to help men and get better. That is, I would say, in a nutshell. This video went too long. Too long. I tried to keep it short, but you know what? Sometimes there's certain things that you need to get off your chest, and also shed a light on, so that, you know what, we can all benefit from and see things for what it truly is. So yeah, I'm gonna say, like I always say, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get me to 500,000 subscribers so that we can get to a point of hitting those YouTube markers so I can monetize this channel and use those funds to reinvest in this channel to get better and to grow even further. So I'll check you out in the next vid. Cheers. I'm out.
At its finest, firestarter, riot maker, moon-stricken, animal in need, bad seed, untamable.
Everybody around me always think they know what's going on inside my mind. Think I'm Mr. Nice Guy all the time. How they say on diary, you think you know, but you have no idea.
From your home, get 50, must make more dough. We will be shaking your flow. Come against me, that's a no-no.
I can smell your woman's Rosie Punani on the dance floor all the way in VIP. I'm a rapper, I can snatch her, and she will leave with me because of my stature. Now everybody move, everybody bounce. Whoever the Nina choose, we about to pounce. With the 151 in the bottle, I call heavily. Let me hit this model in the grotto. I like all women, tall women, and small women. You gotcha. Let techniques tease your chakra. Species release, freaks please the monster. Petite beast feast, these G's will rock ya. Handcuff a buster, don't trust her. Round these hustlers, homie, don't be a sucker. When your love bust, they take her Nina's a brother. She trying to say that I rushed her, then crushed her.